So this is the last round of the winner's side matches. So if you lose here, you still get a chance. So a little bit of the pressure's off. Of course, you don't want to have to go to that lose.
Yeah, it feels like you play, twice as many matches when you come from the losers bracket.
Well, break is starting off pretty good here for the gentleman from China. That was the riddle in the last match that we covered, making that one ball on the break. It was done like, what, 30% of the time?
One is down. He starts off on the blue 2.
I don't see any issues here, Eddie. I don't know if you do, but no immediate issues at this table. Looks like it could be a candidate for a run out.
Let's take a look. I know he's got a clear shot there on the 3. No, the 4 is a little tricky, actually. The 6 ball might be in the way from that pocket, so he looks like he only has one choice to get shape on it. Not easy, actually. Yeah, pushed it a little more than he wanted. He'll end up having to take the side, it looks like. But he wanted to take that corner there.
That's going to be a tough shot.
Yeah. It wasn't a big window that he had there, but... You see him aiming really low here. He wants to come around 2 rails. Yeah, he's going to get lucky. He's going to get lucky. Yeah, look at that.
Well, that's exactly where he wanted the cue ball to land. It's just that did a little bit of an effort with that with that 4 ball. You're a legend when your name becomes a verb.
Playing under Matchroom's World Nineball Tour rules. They're putting the 9 on the spot. You'll notice the box in the center of the table there where they break from. That's a break box. They must break from within that box. You cannot put the ball outside the lines. And of course, this event, like all events which played under the World Nineball Tour rules, the World Nineball Tour's blessing, is ranking points offered for players, and if players get enough ranking points, they could get automatic invites to some of the bigger Matchroom events and open up a world of opportunities for them.
That's why you see a big contingent from Chinese Taipei, you see a big contingent from the Philippines. They're all here.
Yeah, you've mentioned the rankings, and I think it's safe to say, or we should bring up again the Moscone Cup's right around the corner. And I'm not going this year. I really wish I was, but you've been to a few, right?
Yeah, many of them, actually. Incredible event.
A ruckus atmosphere.
In some ways, it's not even like about the pool. Of course it is, but it's the UK fan, the Euro fans, and really set the bar very high. American fans try to follow, and it just becomes this big circus.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned, but it is winner's break here as well. So good job there for Jijie. Get the job done early, and it all starts with this break, gentlemen. About being successful on the break, and not only did he get the 1 ball, he actually had good position on the 2 ball as well. That started everything. Of course, he did fluke. Shot earlier, went into the to another pocket, but all's fair in love and 9-ball.
Well, you raise your hand, but only for a second, and then forget about it. Keep playing.
Yeah.
JJ, of course. How big is pool in China also been over the years?
Well, it has been big, but they have their own thing they've created called it's called Chinese 8-ball.
Oh,
which is
define that.
Basically a pool table with snooker pockets. That's about it. They've kind of made it a hybrid game. Now, what are the measurements on a snooker pocket?
You know, I'm actually not sure, but
gotta
it
be
is
less than 4,
It's
isn't it?
got to be less than 4. Yeah, maybe 3.8.
Plus a different cut on the pocket. Right?
Correct.
So-
Yeah. But so a lot of pool halls are trying to emulate that Chinese 8-ball style now because number one, there's a lot more like in Chinese 8-ball, right? So some of these tournaments, I think there was the first ever $1 million tournament that happened in China not that long ago. And so because of that, I think a lot of players are saying, hey, it's what I want to adopt to. I want to start playing at this standard with these kind of tables because I want to make that $1 million. Right?
Yeah.
That was a lucky break, though, gentlemen. He does have a shot at the 1 here, and he wants to keep his Vietnamese opponent glued to his chair. That's an unfortunate hit, though. Otherwise, he would have scratched, but now he's got to have be creative with his 2-ball.
Well, you asked about China. So cue sports are extremely popular, but it's in Vietnam. We saw recently with the Hanoi Open was just off the charts.
Yeah.
With the popularity and the crowds that came out and the enthusiasm, and some of the players were posting videos and pictures of some of the pool halls they went to in Hanoi. It was just amazing.
Right. Well, we are good. That's a good result there, by the way. Getting the 6 in the way of the 2. We are going to see a gentleman from Vietnam now to the table for the first time.
Yeah, you got a pretty fortunate roll there with the 6th ball getting in the way.
Dan Tan Kien.
Wow, looking at the masse.
Oh, he made it too.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
I don't think you have to apologize for that. I think your intention was to make it anyway.
No, the apology was actually the shape. So beautiful, but you can see how it clips the edge of the side pocket here and gives him it on the 3. Whereas, you know, it would have ended up rolling down the table, and that wasn't the intention, right? You just got a little fortunate with the shape. So, again, we've said it 100 times, but that's just like the sportsmanship you see with these players. Just even though it wasn't 100% the intention, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm still at the table.
Same thing with baseball when you have the pitcher and the hitter. You know, you hit the batter, and then you raise your hand and apologize. But you know, the pitcher say, "How many times have you tried to kneecap me with a ground ball coming straight at me?" Right?
I'm not sure what kind of
you apply that?
what kind of baseball do you play? That sounds rough.
No, I mean, you know, did you apologize for trying to hit my knees with that? Nah, just kidding. But it is part of the sportsmanship, though.
Yeah.
One big advantage, of course, of having a long break in between the matches is that these two gentlemen have been practicing on this table for a little over an hour now. Unlike the first 2 matches that we had, the second match, the quality of the play really suffered. They struggled. Both of them struggled at the table. There's no problems here for the Vietnamese gentlemen.
Dang Tan Kien on the board, 1-1. So good quality of play. Both players playing fairly fast, too. So this match should move along quickly. Race to 9 winner breaks. Make playing billiards easier. Okay, that's what it says on his patch. That's pretty easy for him. With a little bit of luck
There was some luck. Yeah.
thrown in.
But the masse on the 2 was quite beautiful. Really nice. Here we go. Look at this shot. Knows he has to just clip the edge of the 2, otherwise that ball's not going in. He does it quite brilliantly.
So we said 50,000 Singapore dollars. That's about 37,000 US dollars total prize fund, and then 11,000 US to the winner. You see that on the bottom of the screen, digitalpool.com. That's where you go if you want to check out the live scores. Digitalpool.com. And Eddie and Noel, I see you guys on it over here.
Yeah.
Okay, keep us up to date on anything going on the outside tables.
I actually walked. There's a Filipino by the name of Jundel Mazon, somebody you're very familiar with. He is in the losers bracket, let's call it that right now. His match had just gotten underway. So far, no. Talking about the Filipinos, none of them have suffered 2 eliminations, 2 losses. None. So let's see if that stays that way.
And there you see the 1 ball going down. Shot. Shot on the 2.
Well, you mentioned digitalpool.com. I am on digitalpool.com looking at the live scores. And I gotta say, one of my APA players, Johnny Mahilam, he's up at the moment against William Ong, a Singaporean who's William's known around the circuit because he's quite the strong player. So hats off to Johnny for even getting 4 games on him now.
Another candidate for a run out here.
Yeah.
For Dang Tan Kien.
Also on table number 4, we've got another local legend in David Bala, who's one of the coaches for Q Sports. He coaches the youth here in the national team. He also is an APA coach as well, and he's up at the moment on table 4, 8-0 against Pham Trong Son. So he must be shooting really strong to be 8-0 at this point.
Yeah.
At this point in the tournament, that's great.
Means the break's going down. You're keeping your opponent at his chair.
Yeah, Bala's quite consistent, and like I say, he's been playing pool here in Singapore for a long time. Local legend.
Looks like he overran this one, Eddie. Not happy with his position on the 4, trying to get to the 5.
You know, actually, I think it's quite nice. I mean, he's going to probably need an extension, or he might be able to just stretch it out. But if he just draws
With
back,
his left hand,
yeah, if he just draws back, he should be able to have nice shape for the 5 ball. Oh, he's going to play it top.
Forward,
oh, wow, that's going to be tough. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, some players don't really like to have the confidence in their draw shot if they're playing with their offhand.
Yeah, yeah, that was tough.
That's why you notice a lot of Filipinos who just put the stick behind their back.
They still do.
Yeah.
Still, wow. Okay. Oh, now he's getting the extension out.
Is there a rule on how long your extension should be?
You know, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Longtime pool fans may notice the color of the balls are sort of back to traditional colors here. The 4 is purple.
Yeah, I've made that mistake a couple times. We saw, was it Joey Tate who played Shane Van Boning who made that mistake in a crucial match?
And the Philippines, we figured out a way to encode that. We say the 4 is fink, the 5 is furful.
Furful. Ooh.
That's a bit of an inside joke. No.
It helps though. When you're shooting a 3, you got to look for the 4 is fink and the 5 is furful, because you might be setting up for the wrong ball. At least here the 5 is orange.
Just had enough room to get that 5 ball down.
Yeah.
So now everything's opened up for him.
You got a sense that whoever makes the least number of mistakes here is going to take this match, because in terms of stroking ability, in terms of high billiards IQ, it looks like it's an even match. It's going to come down to unforced errors. And a little bit of luck.
You see him pointing where he wants to leave the cue ball.
Yeah, extreme right spin there. He had just enough of an angle to get that spin to take shape on the 9 ball.
Okay, so 2 in a row now for Dang Thanh Kien, Vietnam. Ranked number 10 in Vietnam. A lot of great players coming out of that country right now as there's a bit of a boom in popularity of pool. He leads China's GJ 2-1. Race to 9. It's winner breaks under the WNT rules.
It'll be interesting to see who actually makes it to the top 32.
Well, we are just based on some of the names. You know, we got the Coe brothers. You've got all these great Filipinos. You've got
Aloysius in there.
Aloysius, Yap, great player from Singapore here. I mean, we're guaranteed to be treated to some really high-profile showdowns, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you're in a tournament like this, Eddie, I just want to ask. I mean, how important is rest and recovery? You're not playing that many matches to race to 9. I mean, can you still go out and have a few drinks with your buddies, or do you right after this just go straight back to your hotel room and watch the video?
Well, it just depends on the player and their mental state, right? You know, some of them don't drink, right? You know, they don't want to really mess up anything that's going to alter their game or their focus, right? So I think, you know, a lot of these professionals don't need that extra bit of beverage to take the edge off or take the nervousness away, because they're already nerves aren't here anymore, right? That shouldn't phase them at this stage of the game. So yeah, I don't think it's going to affect their game if they have 1 or 2, but like I said, they're here for a purpose, and that's to win this tournament. I don't think their goal is to see Singapore, or they're here. Even though Singapore is a beautiful place, their main focus is spending as much time at ARC and winning this tournament.
I was talking to Jun Dalmazon earlier, one of the players from the Philippines, said we have another successful break there. They arrived early so they can get the sightseeing out of the way.
There you go.
And then just concentrate on this. I mean, he traveled with a kid, AJ Manas from the Philippines. I mean, it must have been father and son when they were walking around. They looked like father and son. But yeah, some of the Filipinos, you know, let's get the sightseeing out of the way. We do the sightseeing later because we have a job to do. Pretty much, I guess, all the nations that come here. This guy's, Chad, this guy looks dead serious about his game, though. He's showing us a lot of pretty high quality skill. Talking about Dan Tan Kien.
Yeah, really nice stroke there.
And I believe, Ted, we had this conversation already before about the cue ball that has a lot of pimples on it, because it sort of like teaches the people exactly how, you know, the cue ball gets to spin.
Yeah, you can see the spin on the ball.
Yeah, as opposed to just a plain white ball. And look at the Dan Tan Kien long enough. You'd probably think he'd be a dead ringer for Vietnam's Lee Van Corteza. Am I onto something here, Ted?
Never thought of that one. No.
You look long enough. Ooh, he's missed it. It's the first unforced error we've seen.
Yeah, and I know it was a pretty makeable ball, but the
Very
shape,
makeable.
but the shape was tough, right? He had that little window between the 6 and the 7 there to hold the cue. Any further, and he wouldn't have had a shot on the 6. But you know, I would have fancied him to make that shot actually.
Instead, GGS got everything out in the open.
Yeah. He made this a little tricky. He has a little more of an angle than he wants, so he's going to have to try to control the cue ball so it doesn't get past the 9.
It's either that or he goes around Singapore with it.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, he's taking a long look at this because he either has to bump the 8-ball and try to control it or come around the whole table. That's not really what you want to do here. Yeah, he's drawing it, so most likely... Oof, he's really going down on this ball. He's
digging deep.
He missed it. Nice. He missed the 8-ball, but he got it behind the 9. Just like he didn't want that, right? That was the one thing he didn't want.
That's almost a total eclipse.
Yeah, you want to either clip the 8 or clip the 9 on the way out there.
But you're saying he purposely did not hit it, either of them, right? Or he tried to.
So he should have. He
Should have.
Yeah, yeah.
But he dug so deep that he
just completely missed
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, he didn't leave an easy shot here.
Yeah, got a little fortunate with the roll there.
I'm telling you, Ted, that's Lee Van Cortez's Vietnamese twin.
could be. Yeah, you are onto something. That's just unforgivable, that one.
Yeah.
That's a scene out of The Empire Strikes Back when Yoda says it's either you do or you do not. There is no in between. Not really, because he just didn't commit to the shot. Oh, wow.
Wow. He got a little... No, he didn't. Wow.
You saw how fast he stood up after he struck it?
Oh, it's shocking.
That is. Well, pay attention to that moment. 3-1. Is that in the cards for Dang?
So we've seen him masse earlier. I don't see him getting the jump cue out right now.
Oh, does he have enough of it to just play it rail first?
He's jacked up a little bit. There's going to be some masse here. Just like that.
Rail first. And just to borrow a term of our fellow billiard commentator Bob Guerrero, Ted Lerner, that's on the 50-yard line right there.
Great shot.
No problem. So instead of a 2-2, which GJ certainly thought that was going to be the case, it's now 3-1. Let's see how that affects the player from China. Usually, as we like to say, there's a certain turning points in matches. That would be one of them right there. GJ should have had that rack. He had walking table, glaring error, and he just handed and gifted that rack to Dang. So the Vietnamese up 3-1 and will be breaking. This is like what's good about the winner breaks format is that, yeah, you make a mistake like that, you get punished.
That's the mistake right there.
And, you should be punished for mistakes. You shouldn't have, you shouldn't be able to get away with it. You make a mistake at this level, you are playing, this is some of the best players in the world and very high level here.
And as you pointed out, the pool gods are watching.
That's it. Let's see what happens here.
Well, he's been good on his break so far. He's had one dry break out of the 3 times he's been at the table to break.
Listen, I can't explain it. I can't explain this pool gods thing. It's just
No,
it's true,
I'm with
though.
you on it. I'm with you on it.
It's true.
We
It
have
really does happen. There's some momentum, whatever you want to call it, pool gods. It's like you hand over a gift. You give a gift to your opponent of a rack that you should have won.
Right.
That it's just something. The air goes out of your and 9 out of 10 times it ends up costing you.
Right. I do a lot of poker commentary, as you know. We also have something called the poker god. you mess up a hand, the next time you're going to get 7 deuce dealt to you 3 times as some form of punishment. And then when you do get a good hand, somebody's going to outdraw you as some form of punishment as well. So it also happens in any sport. Ran into the 3, solved that problem.
Nice shot.
He really solved that problem, because I was about to say that the 3 ball was the problem ball at this table. And there's some pool players, Ted and Eddie, who are just natural problem solvers.
Yeah.
I mean, we see a situation that how's he going to do that, and they find ways of getting it done. Pretty good layout here. Looks like GJ of China might have to stay in that chair for a prolonged period of time. With the way that Dang's been breaking and the way that he's been controlling the table. I mean, you saw earlier how confident he was on that Massey shot, and then playing the rail first when the 8 ball was hanging over the pocket. And Ted Lerner's pool gods are now starting to smile. The gentleman from Vietnam.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, you just go back to that last match that we had. Pei Wei Chang was supposed to go up 6-3, and then he missed an elementary shot. He never won a single rack again.
Yeah. Just got to avoid the side pocket here, and he does very easily. Made that look easy.
There it is. So now he's up 4-1. Instead of it being 2-2, it's 4-1. And maybe it has something to do with when your opponent gives you a gift like that, it takes that pressure off of you. Because these matches, there's a lot of pressure here. It may not look pretty calm, but this is a tough sport to make a living in. If you don't make the final 32, you're not getting any. You're not getting a penny.
And even making the final 32, you might still be paying more for your airfare than the prize money.
It's so there's a tremendous amount of pressure. It's just anything you can do to relieve the pressure, make you feel good, get back in stroke. And vice. And on the other side is that you gift your opponent a rack. All of a sudden, the pressure's just piled on your shoulders.
You know, the worst sin that you could do to the poker gods is that you have ball in hand on the 9 ball and you miss it. Have you seen that happen? Ball in hand on the 9 ball and you miss the 9.
No, I've never seen it. I've seen stuff close to that, though.
Yeah, hopefully at this level that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen at this level, for sure.
I saw Carl Boyes miss a straight-in 8-ball at the World Pool Masters and lost the match right in the last rack.
Right. But wasn't that because he was thinking of position when he was asked earlier on?
He had his family there. It was in Nottingham, England. So he had a lot of his family there. They were partying it up, and they were whooping it up and everything, and so he was paying attention to them. You got to pay attention to every shot, right?
Absolutely.
You cannot take anything for granted.
Well, this break, he was breaking so well, gentlemen. It's come up second time, but this gives an opportunity for GJ to punish him. Remember that famous Sid Waddell. Jimmy White went up against Efren Reyes, and I'm pretty sure remember that miracle shot of Jimmy White. Yeah, this is a gift to GJ right there. Yeah.
There's still some traffic to get through. There's 2 to 3s. Got to get by the 9, got to get by the 5. Should be okay, but there we go. Nice shot. I know they make it look easy, but let's not discredit them.
Yeah. And even mastering the table speed already. I mean, some tables that wouldn't have made it there. Some tables that would have gone way over.
Absolutely.
Oh, I do have a question for you, though. Why is it easier to make the side shot in snooker as opposed to making a side shot in, in snooker, like, I see a lot of players, like, effortlessly making balls at the side oblique angle. Here, it's like you hardly do it. Really strange. Doesn't have any situation where that needs to happen, though.
Well, can't comment there. I'm more of a pool player than a snooker player.
I should ask somebody who does play snooker, but it's strange, you know. It's like when you're trying to make a side shot when it's an oblique angle, it's like that's a low percentage shot.
Sure.
But in snooker, they do it all the time.
Okay, some good shooting here from GJ.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's as if he's up 4-1 with the way he's been stroking it here. Oh, no.
Well, commentator's curse.
I didn't say safe to say, though. That's like the commentator's worst thing. Well, it's safe to say, boom. It happens.
Yeah, it's painful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
See it right on his face there.
Oh.
Wow.
What happened there?
Talk about painful.
No kidding.
What in the world?
Just about anywhere on the table except there.
That speed.
I mean, he's got the entire top, like 75% of the table to work with.
Exactly.
It's like putting your finger on the rail and then the break shot hits you on the finger while your finger's on the rail because you got the whole table, and then the cue ball hits you. It's like, oh my gosh, you had the whole table and you found my finger. Well, this is the same case right here. Too soft, okay. Too hard, okay. This one, no way. He's jumping.
Wow.
Here's one of those turning points again.
And the sound of the contact was...
That was just a horrendous sequence for Dang.
GJ, I'm not even sure about that shot.
Dang's not even, he's over there kind of laughing at himself. He can't believe how ridiculous that was.
Yeah, he sure is.
So now that the pool gods say, hey, this guy from China is doing something right. Let's side with him.
Well, you wait and see.
Yeah.
4-2 now in favor of Dang of Vietnam over China's GJ. Day 3 of the TE Capital Nineball Open, promoted by APP, Asian Pool Promotions. And we got a nice list of sponsors here who have helped make this event possible. 128 players from 15 countries are here in Singapore to battle it out.
Yeah, he just flat out missed it, Eddie.
He sure did. Yeah. Ted, you mentioned some of the sponsors. One of the sponsor bars that is alongside this tournament is Good Cheer Bendemeer. And so there will be an event this Saturday, so tomorrow. It's called Play with the Stars. So you'll have Johan Chua, I think Kopin Yi, they'll be there, along with Aloysius Yap and others. So play with those professionals, get your autographs, get your pictures.
This must be at night. Or
It's at night, 8 p.m.
After this event.
After this
It
event,
has to be after this event.
8 p.m. And I believe there's still some tickets available, so get them while you can.
Oh, look at that one ball.
That's like rolling a 30-foot putt, and it made it just in a quarter inch.
It just looks like it's going to go. At the very last second, it stops.
I mean, you can't even go rail first in this when it's so deep into the pocket. Looks like he's gonna force his opponent with this push shot into a jump shot. Or some funky kick.
talk about jumping off when the ball's on the rail. It's going to be very hard to do. Isn't it? I mean, he's got the ball right on the rail.
It does make it a little bit more difficult. You know, as a as a shorter player myself, I like it to be on the rail as opposed to be in the middle of the table. In the middle of the table, I can't really stretch over, so it does give you a little bit of leverage when it's on the rail like that. But that close, like you said, kissing the rail, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
And you completely missed it. I'm
You
telling
sure
you,
did.
that ball was too deep in the pocket to even. You miss it and hit the rail, you can't hit it.
Well, he needed to hit the edge of the ball too to get shape, right? If he just pots it as far deep as the one ball is, he's liable to scratch as well by following it in. So he wanted to hit the edge of the one ball to come around the table for the shape.
It's good advice for your amateur players there. They might look at that thing and go, hey, it's a duck just sitting there. I'm going to knock it off. And next thing you know, you scratch.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to think about that thing is so deep in the pocket, you're probably going to scratch if you hit it straight on.
Exactly. You know, just he's taking a couple extra looks at this because, you know, it's not an easy shot to get shape on. And yes, the ball is right in the pocket, but what do you do after that, right? You got to make sure you get a good shot on it too. And he's going to have to come at least 2 rails and try to get in next to the 3 ball, right where the 6 is at.
He got there.
Yeah, he did. Right where the 6 is at, yeah.
Yeah. If this had a gallery, that would have been applause.
Yeah,
For that effort.
And here he wants to maybe hold the cue ball with a little inside spin so it comes off this one rail and just bounces up with a 3. Right there. Nice shot.
Looks like the issues are over for this rack. Although we said that in the rack previous, by the way.
I think you said that in the
I said that. You know, I've had broadcasters curse follow my career forever. I think I ended one of the longest free throw streaks in the history of the Philippines by just talking about it.
Ooh.
Well, I don't think any of us need to take any responsibility for the failings of GJ right now.
That's true.
Because he is just handing this entire match over to Dang. He's had numerous chances, and Dang's had a few mistakes himself, but GJ almost like he's rooting for his opponent here. This is just, it's going to get away from him quickly. Race to 9, winner breaks.
Yeah, he's got a pep in his step again. He's probably totally forgotten about that attempted jump shot that failed miserably in the last rack.
Okay, this time he does it right. So this should be, this is a no-brainer right here. 9 ball to go up 5-2. There it is. So Dang moves up by 3. Race to 9, winner breaks. He'll be back up in rack number 8 to break.
So I got to mention we've got a couple APA players playing right now.
Those are your APA.
Yeah.
We didn't have to mention that you are the APA guy here in Singapore.
Thank
Come
you
on,
for
man.
that. I am.
Let's you know, we got to give you credit, man. You are the guy who brought it here, right?
I am, yes. But it's, you know, the love of pool that we all have here in Singapore that makes it a thing in Singapore, right? Because we're able to grow the sport, and, you know, there's people in APA from ages 16 all the way to you know, I'm not going to mention how old they are, but a lot higher than 16.
116.
Right? and then, of course, different cultures and backgrounds, you know, because Singapore is such a melting pot of different cultures. So that's what makes this game pool so beautiful, that it doesn't matter your background or your age or anything. Everybody can play this game. APA kind of helps facilitate that. So that being said, we've got a couple guys. Denji, who's also playing. Unfortunately, he ran into a juggernaut in Regalario, who won his match Bernie moves on to the round of 32.
9-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like I mentioned, local David Bala also won 9-0. So a couple folks advancing here. And then we've got one other player, Johnny Mahuliam. He is playing against William Ong. Unfortunately, William's on a bit of a run here, 6-4 at the moment.
Well, as long as the magic number of 9 hasn't been stretched. Of course, Jonas Magpantay of the Philippines, who found himself in the loser's bracket, has also, well, his match is ongoing.
Now, just when he got on a roll, the comes up dry, but no shot to a pocket for GJ.
Yeah. There you go. John Pantay defeating Aaron Yip of Singapore. So far, no Filipino has been eliminated yet. I did speak to that big, I could call the brat pack of the Philippines, talking about Jeffrey Ignacio, Johan Chua, and James Aranas. They were all together with Jeffrey De Luna, and they're sharing jokes. I mean, when those 4 guys get together, it's a laugh fest. They have so many stories, so many jokes. Yeah, but they're all still through. Of course, the Wonder Boy from the Philippines, Anton Raga, 9-0, you said today?
He did win 9-0, yeah, he did.
I believe from Asia, of course, with all due respect to everybody here, from Asia in 2024, those are the 2 names to watch out for. Anton Raga of the Philippines and Aloysius Yap of Singapore. They're going to make serious headway in this sport.
Oh, great shot.
That was well struck.
Yeah, we pointed it out, gentlemen, the one who makes the least number of mistakes is going to come out on top in this one. We did see 2 catastrophic mistakes from GGA.
That was a nice shot right there from Dang. Obviously, I mean, this the steadier player at the moment.
I wonder how much of their game is going to change when the shot clock is introduced. Because right now they're really taking their time and then assessing everything before they actually execute.
It's really playing at a fairly good pace.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's going to change too much, honestly. They're playing pretty quick pool, actually. And, at this stage of the game, too, I don't see many of the players really exceeding the shot clock. So I think they'll be just fine.
What is the shot clock here, though? Is it 30 seconds or 30-second shot clock?
Well, if they're playing under the World 9-Ball Tour rules, I mean, natural, yeah, theirs is 30 seconds. Now, I don't know here what they're going to do. They're going to have a shot clock on final day. I think maybe either quarterfinals or semifinals onwards.
I think from the quarterfinals. Yep, the quarterfinals on. Just got word on it's going to be a 30-second shot clock.
I've seen players who are naturally slow. Johnny Archer picking lint off the table.
Right.
But when you put them on a shot clock, they actually become better.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
They play better. But if you allow them, I've seen at the World 9-Ball Championship at Qatar, they didn't ever had a shot clock. I mean, there were guys in the court, the really matches deep in the tournament, like quarterfinals, semifinals, taking 5 minutes to shoot. At this point, it's not a sport. I mean, nobody's going to watch it take 5 minutes.
I think Earl Strickland was the first to be very vocal about that.
Well, you mentioned the mental part of the game, right? And that's a big part of this. Sometimes just go shoot, just go play, right? You know how to play the game, just go. But when you, in your own head, you think about the shot too much, you think about, what I did last time, you end up missing the shot, right? You just want to go out there and play.
You can't play scared either, right? You miss the shot, you make that shot like 9 out of 10 times, but you miss it that one time. It shouldn't affect the rest of your shot making.
Correct.
Well, he is definitely not in his own head right now. This guy is. 6-2 down, DJ of China. He is ruining the glaring errors and the gifts he gave of Vietnam Dang is cruising along now, up 6-2 in our race to 9. That's what you do. When you get the table, you just keep your opponent in your chair and you'll have no problem.
Exactly. Well, I know we're harping a little bit on GJ's mistakes he's made, but we also have to give credit where credit's due because Dang is just putting a number on it. Right now, when he gets to the table, he's making the shots, he's executing. He's playing really good pool right now.
Yeah, it was except for the rack. It was like three racks ago where he gave up the table.
That's
2
right.
balls left, but that was about it.
Yeah, was a bad shape on the 7.
And he did lose that rack, by the way. He did lose that rack, but that's the last time he's lost.
There you see the score line. So it'll be Dang Tan Kien from Vietnam. The finish line slowly but surely in sight. There it is. There's the one. Oh, 9-ball, very close to going in.
Very close.
Yeah, not a good-looking shot on the 2, though, gentlemen. And 9 got kicked.
What do you guys play in APA? You play 8-ball or is it 9-ball?
We play both, 8-ball and 9-ball. Yeah.
No 10-ball, though.
No 10-ball, not yet. Yeah. We have a little more friendlier rules for the amateur player in APA, but we do play both of them, and it's been growing, and people love it. So sport's been getting bigger and bigger.
Not quite sure what he wanted to do with that 2-ball.
It looked like he was actually going for the combination, but failed attempt, and now we've got a shot for GJ. He'll probably have to play the combination. Just Yep, there it is.
And then it looks like he has an angle to travel to the 3. He's neither here nor there, Eddie. Oh, he's going to get lucky, though. Wow.
Let's see if he can turn this into something.
Yeah, it looks like the pools have make that the pool gods that have defected.
Still too early.
Yeah.
Disclaimer. One thing GJ has not done in a long time was break. The last time he did, he came up dry.
I'm hoping he finishes this rack, but please, no more commentators curse.
I'm not saying a word.
Leave your pen down. Don't mark the score up.
I'm not even looking anymore.
Just a little bit of follow here. Should be to get. Oh, we just put him bottom.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's rolling it back the long rail.
A bit surprised by this.
And off the long rail.
There it is.
Well, it worked for him.
Yeah.
6-3 now. Gets one back. Stop the bleeding.
Now he has to break.
So we'd like to thank our sponsors here at the TE Capital 9-Ball Open. Dynaspheres balls. You see those big billiard balls there? Those are Dynaspheres. CPBA providing the cloth. And Rasson. This is a Rasson table. Always a popular table with the players. And Kamui, tips and chalk. Thank you to our sponsors for helping make this event possible.
So that rack was not without some luck as well. You saw the contact of the 7 to keep GG out on the table. It all comes down to the break. I mean, this is not yet over, not by a long stretch.
So GJ trying to make something happen here.
Oh. Made a ball.
And he has a shot on the 1. Two's wide open on the right side of the table. There you see the 8 going down.
There's actually a 4 ball, I think, Ted.
Oh, there's the 4 ball.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The purple 4.
But still, he was a little fortunate because that was not supposed to go in, just got knocked in. So we're sticking with your pool gods theory. Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just not.
Wait
this.
Wait a second.
No,
No.
come on.
No.
He's not shooting well.
I'm telling you. Ted Lerner is something here, folks.
Well, his game isn't at the level right now. I mean, maybe it has been in the past, but today it ain't. You can tell that.
Absolutely.
And he got lucky there, but that unlucky with the leave.
Yeah.
Play safe.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple safe opportunities here.
What was his first option here, Eddie?
Well, first option is just hide the 1 ball behind the 3, and then send the cue ball 2 rails to get up table. Just where the 3 is blocking the 1. Yeah, he decided to play it a little soft. You know, the 1 did bump the 3, so it kind of stopped the 1 ball from moving its tracks. But it's a pretty simple 1 rail kick.
A makeable shot, too. If he decides to go for it, of course.
Yeah, if he decides to go for it, he might opt to go 2 rails.
He's kicking at it the other way.
Yeah, that's the way to kick at it. You just want to make sure if he does, he doesn't snook himself behind the 3. Oh, didn't even try to make it. But again, now he gives back pretty much the similar style of defense where you can just touch the edge of the 1 ball, try to hide as much behind a 3, and send the white ball 2 rails down table.
And that would be jail if he can get away with that. Pretty hard to do it with the bridge as well.
Just like that. Oh, a little hard.
I can see the 1.
Absolutely must-win rack for GJ.
Yeah.
He's been up against it pretty much this entire match. He led 1-0, and then ever since then, it's been mostly Dang Tan Kien of Vietnam.
That's a defining shot here in this rack. Again, at this point, Eddie, do you trust your pot-making ability on that 1 ball?
Well, no, Dang has to be feeling pretty good about that lead, considering that G's not making anything at this point.
It's
Good point.
How do you rate this level of shot difficulty?
Probably about a 6 or a 7. I mean, it's definitely makeable, but you got to hit it with such speed that you're going to get back shape for the 2. And yeah,
Did he try to go for the pot, or was he just going for the safety shot all the way?
I think he was actually trying to go for the pot. I think he got a little fortunate with the 1 ball getting tucked behind the 8-9.
Simple shake of the head. It's not making the balls, but I can't make this one either.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be pretty if he can tuck the cue ball behind the 3. No, he went the other way, behind the 8-9.
Oh, not there though.
Yeah. Eventually, somebody's got to make the 1 ball.
He's got the jump cue? No, I thought he had jump cue. Okay.
Honestly, it's not a tough kick shot. Yeah, and he's looking at it now.
Yeah, it's like a 95% eclipse. 1 rail.
Nothing going his way.
Yeah.
Except not a bad leave.
Well, the question is the 1 past the 2? That's question number 1. Question number 2, do you go for it? If it does.
Oh, if it does, you certainly go for it. But it doesn't. It doesn't go past the 2.
Crossing?
I think he's going to send the cue ball down table for a safe. Sure is.
What a touch.
That appears to work.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's pretty much a tough escape. Yeah, so that's all he's got, right? I need 2 rails.
Yeah, 2 rails, but having that second rail makes it a little bit easier to make contact with the ball. Of course, it's a little bit more predictable where the cue ball is going to go if he does make contact. But I foresee him to. Oh, yeah. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hey!
Hey, it's legal.
He gets it on the rebound.
telling you, Ted.
Yeah.
He's getting a few favors here and there. And does not leave a shot on the 1. I mean, there's a shot on the 1, but there's no pocket for it.
Now, how many minutes have we been fighting over this 1 ball?
I was just thinking the same.
We're still on the 1 ball here.
It's the same match, right? It's the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a mistake.
Yep. Now the question comes again, do you trust your shot-making ability?
Well, eventually you have to.
That's true, that's true.
I mean, he's got a shot in the side pocket. Let's see where the 2 is. Yeah, he could, shoot the 1 ball and miss the side pocket and leave the cue ball nestled up against the 5. But like I said, at some point, defenses aren't going to win this game. You got to start potting some balls. I don't think his confidence is going to grow any unless he starts making a couple balls here.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
He went with the defense, and he got luck. Wow.
How many times has he gotten away with this?
More than a couple. Because that defense wouldn't have been there. He would have left the 1 ball open for Dang to shoot. And now he gets the shot at it.
Yeah, every time he has a chance, he doesn't even get close.
Sometimes when you start talking to yourself, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's a rough outing right now for GJ.
Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah, you can see he is completely dejected. He's left a wide open table here for Dang.
Don't see any issues anymore here, Eddie.
Yeah, with the 6 and 7 down, just a nice little touch here to get on the top side of the 5 ball. Basically a stop shot for the 8. 9 on the side should be done.
Yeah, back on track though.
Yeah, he's in total command of this match.
Yep.
He's not played perfect, but he's played good enough. And GJ just all out of sorts. Cannot get it together.
Yeah, that's well put. Not playing a perfect match, not playing his best, I'm sure, but he's playing well enough to win.
So don't forget, this winner of this match into the final 32. That's the knockout stage. This is the qualification where we played double elimination. We started with 128 players. Nobody was seeded. 128 players. It's a free-for-all. You win 2, you make it into the knockout stage. That's the money rounds. If you lose 2, you're out. So make playing billiards easier. Well, it's always easier when you play a guy who isn't playing well at all.
Right.
Okay.
But it did start out pretty well there. He did make a ball on the break. He got some fortuitous rolls.
Did you
This
see
is
when
one
he
of them.
moves, when he shoots,
Yeah.
he's not even
He's
cueing
not,
properly.
No, he's not steady. He's not himself today.
That's roll number 1. Here's roll number 2.
Yeah, he's got a couple really fortunate rolls, but just can't capitalize when he does. Almost a look of confusion on his
Yeah.
face right there.
It's like, what's going on here?
It's like a bad
Who
dream.
blindsided me?
Don't you have those days, gentlemen, when you feel you're doing everything right and nothing's going right, and you think you're in a bad dream? It's probably what GJ is thinking about right now.
There you see the score line. Dang Tan Kien of Vietnam, 7-3, and breaking. Winner breaks format. So you win the rack, you back up in the next rack.
I missed it again.
Oh, sad to report, Johnny Mahulam
Yeah.
just lost his match to
So
William
that's the
Ong.
first Filipino who's out.
And that's true. First Filipino who's out. Yep, William Ong advances. William Ong's been playing in the pool scene here in Singapore for many
Now,
years.
humor me here. Is he going for the billiard?
Might as well. Think about the Filipino losing in the early round, the knockout stage here. In the double elimination stage. The good thing is, there's like 10 or 12 other Filipinos
16.
here. 16, okay.
16.
They'll look after him.
Yeah, he'll
he's
be
not going hungry.
No,
Okay.
he'll be all right.
Oh.
Yeah, Johnny plays in the Team Baraka I was mentioning to you earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he plays on that team. Quite.
Dang with an unforced error there, gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these the Filipino players sometimes they pull their resources together, get 4 hotel rooms, even if there's like 16 of them, and then they just pay for the extra bed.
That's just. He just can't do anything. Right? Even his shots are not even close to the pocket.
He gets a little fortunate here, though, guys,
Yeah,
because
he's been getting a little bit lucky, but it's just a matter of time, isn't it? Before
It certainly feels that way.
it goes down to defeat. It's an ugly display. I'm sorry, I hate to be so harsh, but that's the way it is. I'm sure he would agree.
I mean, there's some times when you really have an off day. You wish there wasn't on the TV table though, because you got 3 commentators talking about it.
Yeah.
There's an offensive option here, right, Eddie? He can bank this.
Oh, it's a very tough option, but he went. Looked
Oh,
like
he's going for the 9.
I don't think that was the intention, but
Oh, now it
he-
lines up.
Yeah, he gave it away. That's the reason why you don't usually want to go for those tough combinations like that, because if you don't make it, then you just leave it as a sitting duck for your opponent.
Yeah, that's in boxing parlance, Ted Lerner. Somebody went for the haymaker and then got knocked out with a counterpunch. Talk about Manny Pacquiao against Juan Manuel Marquez, December of 2012. Oh, watch out.
No.
Wow, that cue ball does not fall. Wow.
What?
I believe the ref is waiting 5 seconds to make sure
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't fall. And if it doesn't fall, then
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
You got a rack.
Again, a lot of luck though, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, was it?
It wasn't pretty.
I think Ted's just looking for something to cheer for. He got a rack.
Yay.
Then he gets a kick, right? That's the next part.
Hey, never say never.
Yeah.
I'll give him his props if he comes back. Sure.
Absolutely.
But it's just, I mean, he's missing pockets by, 2 and 3 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little
I
tough to
can
watch.
see, bobble it in the jaws of the pocket. Okay, that happens, but you miss it by numerous shots by a few inches.
And
There he goes.
It's
And then,
it's pretty safe to say if that 4-ball wasn't there, he would have scratched.
Yeah, he was scratched, that's for sure.
So, one last former APA player, Jonathan Coe, who took his team to the championships in APA Las Vegas, is actually on the hill right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's shooting quite nicely against Yu Xing.
Can I see?
Liu Jing.
Yu Xing.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you
Liu
guys.
Xing.
Look at-
Liu Xing.
What's going on, man? Look at you. The APA guy.
Yeah.
Killing it.
They're doing okay. Showing up today.
Hey, it starts from the leadership, right? You gotta claim it. You gotta claim it. Starts from the leadership.
Okay, there's the 1 ball down. Shot on the 2. 3's way out there.
5-9 combination coming up. I'm just kidding. I mean, finally, right? The thing is, can you execute? Looking at well, he's already shot the 2. Yeah, no issues here. That's the issue.
The issue, I was just going to say, the issue is you got to complete the pot.
I thought you were going to say it's the commentator curse again.
No.
Yeah.
No issues. Come on.
No, it's all on GJ right now. I mean, he stood up real quickly after striking that 3.
He did. He really did.
Like, he's lost all his confidence already in making even the simplest of pots. Gotta get there. Barely.
Four more balls for a place on the hill. That's what we call it. Pool. You're 1 away from victory.
1 away from climbing the mountain, the pinnacle. That's why they call it the hill, right? 1 away from the
Is
the
that what it
pinnacle.
is?
That's what I heard. So it is. I'm pretty sure that's been there way before we've been in the business. Ted.
Yeah.
Notice how silent the commentators suddenly become.
Wait. little more work than he would have wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit here. Wow.
What in the world?
And he also stood up real quickly after he hit that. Must probably be concerned about the scratch, Eddie. Look at where this cue ball lands.
Yeah, it probably was going through his mind, but you know he had quite a few. He had quite a bit of room before he was going to scratch, so I think he should have been safe on that one. And look at this, yeah. And look at this.
Oh, it's just, you
Wow.
knew as soon as he hit it.
Wow, it's getting worse and worse.
As soon as he hit it, you could see it wasn't going.
Yeah, and the scratch was on the way.
Wow. I've never seen somebody implode this way before, especially at this level.
Yeah, I've seen matches. You know, there's guys been over the years. It does happen. It's unfortunate. We're not laughing at him. It's tough. You know, I mean, you have a bad day.
Exactly. It happens.
But we have to call it as we see it. I mean,
Exactly.
he's just he's a wreck. It's just not. He's not even getting close to
Oh,
the
yeah,
pocket.
we always want to give the guy a glimmer of hope, but you know, every time he's gotten an opportunity for a glimmer of hope, rain clouds come. I mean, he misses some pretty easy shots. That's a clincher, of course, when you scratch on the 9-ball. He was given a chance on this miss. It wasn't an easy shot by any stretch, but oh boy.
Absolutely zero confidence. You can just see it. You can feel it in his whole demeanor. He's just not sure of himself at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, if he goes on to lose this, he will go to the other side, the loser's bracket. That means he has another chance to redeem himself.
And a couple of hours, at least an hour of rest as well. You know, collect himself, take a walk around Harborfront.
Yes, this Aspire Recreation Center is in the beautiful Harborfront Center. It's a cruise port. Sentosa Island's just across the way here. They've got gondolas going over there. You can take a boat or a tram over there.
I want to thank my good friend here, my newfound friend Eddie Rivera, for treating me to a burger today. Well, they got a taste of the local cuisine.
I wouldn't know if that's local,
Well,
but
you bought it in Singapore, so it's got to be local, right? So after this break, well, Dan Kien is taking a good look at this right now. At 1 ball. Oh, we're going to see Benok in action. We call him Benok, Bernie Regalario.
So after this match, we're going to see. We're heading over. That's the loser side. This is the last of the winner side match. So we're going to the loser side of the bracket. It'll be Singapore's David Bala taking on Bernie Regalario of the Philippines. Do you know David?
I know David well. Yeah, he is the APA coach for us. So he's APA coach. He's a Q Sports Junior national team coach as well. He's just a phenomenal player. And I think both, if I'm not mistaken, I think both players, David Bala and Bernie, both won 9-0 in their previous match.
Wow.
Okay.
So we should see some fireworks here.
Very good.
We call Bernie the wonder kid in the Philippines, like the glimmer of hope, the future of Philippine pool. He, AJ Manas, Kyla Moroto, these kids are coming up from the ranks now, teenagers. They'll be the next generation. Oh my goodness gracious.
A forgettable performance. So ball in hand for Vietnam's Dang Thanh Kien, with a chance to move into the round of 32, the knockout stage, which begins tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll watch GJ's match tomorrow because I'm very curious to see how he bounces or if he can bounce back from this.
That's a good point.
And this is, that's what we talked about earlier. The mental part of this game and how you perform after a loss is so crucial. So I really hope to see him come back and maybe win next round. I hope, because this is a tough to watch.
Yeah,
Well,
it really is.
he moves to the
Painful.
losers bracket, right? That means his match should be in later on today. If he does move into the losers bracket.
Well, we have one round tomorrow.
Oh,
the first match will be
losers.
the
Oh,
final
okay.
losers bracket, and then the
Okay.
second match will be start the knockout stage.
All right, thank you for clearing that up. In not a good position on the 6 here, though, Eddie.
Yeah, it's not great, but it is makeable. It looks like he's trying to play for the defense, though. And the way GJ's been shooting, I don't blame him. Oh,
I went for it.
Nice. He got lucky, though. Look at that. He still has a shape on the 7 enough to pot and come back around for the 8.
Or not to scratch as well. Oh, he's missed it again.
Wow. Now that one's surprising.
That's amazing.
Just overcut it.
Certainly did. And
Well,
there's
this
life
match,
yet.
yeah, this match isn't over.
there is life yet.
Oh, he might even make this 9.
He's not making it, but he's not no shape on the 8.
He can bank the 8, though.
Yeah, let's take your time here a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on, GJ.
That was a little too ambitious, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I am quite surprised he didn't even look at the bank.
I think the bank was on, and he would have just had great position on the 9. It's not an easy 8, though. Down. I'm shooting the same pocket he missed the 7 earlier. He's
Nice.
successful now.
This 9 ball for a spot in the final 32. Tan Kien with a 9-4 victory over GJ China, who, lucky for him, will live to play another day. Maybe today on the loser side. So he does have a chance, but he has got a lot of work to do to get back in some kind of playing shape. I don't know how he can bounce back from that performance. Just a forgettable performance from China's GJ. There you see the final score, 9-4 in our winners bracket here at the TE Capitol 9-Ball Open Championship. And we've got one more match for you today. It'll be Singapore's David Bala and the Philippines' Bernie Regalario, and that'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Experience the pinnacle of billiard excellence with our precision-crafted cloth, trusted by champions worldwide. Engineered for flawless play, It's the surface that elevates your game. From professionals to enthusiasts, discover a world where mastery meets innovation. Explore our range of colors and textures to express your unique style. Elevate your game with us. Visit our website today at www.cpbabrand.com.
You don't have to play like a pro to enjoy the game I love.
If you've ever played in a friend's basement, you can compete in an APA league. In the APA, everyone can play and anyone can win. So if you're looking for a fun night out with your friends and family, join an APA pool league today. Have fun, meet people, play pool. Visit poolplayers.com today.
It's the very best in Asian Nineball here at the TE Capital Nineball Championship, coming to you from Singapore. We are at the Aspire Recreation Center, and now it's Singapore versus the Philippines. David Bala of Singapore taking on Bernie Regalario of the Philippines, 18 years old, Regalario, and joined by Noel Zarate, and John Dangerfield has joined us here in the booth. John, how are you enjoying the event so far?
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for the introduction, Ted. Yeah, it's great. I've been watching outside in the arena, I know obviously all the local players, been here for 16 years, so
There's
it's
David.
Yeah, David's
Tell us what you know about David.
Sure, yeah, he's one of the top national players. He's always been around in the sort of top 3, 4, 5 players. He's the official Singapore national youth coach for Q Sports Academy, and he's also the official coach for APA. So he's got a couple of official roles, and he's obviously played internationally, represented Singapore a few times. Yeah.
So Noel, we'll go to you because you know Bernie Regalario personally. You said only 18 years old.
Yeah,
and tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he just turned 18 last January, so he is turning 19 this year. Started out playing billiards at the age of 10. He's originally from Bicol region in the Philippines, and you can tell by the look on the way he's wearing his hair, he's a big Johan Chua fan.
Yeah.
Because Johan actually started teaching him at a very young age, and they call him the Little Prince in the Philippines.
He certainly is a baby-faced player, that's
Yeah.
for sure. He is only 18 years old, so David Bala wins the lag. It's winner breaks, race to 9. This is a loser side match. This is double elimination part of the tournament. So if you lose this match, you are out of the event. If you win, you are in the final. You get one more. Okay, yeah. You're not in the final. You still have to play one more tomorrow morning. So our final 32, which is where the knockout stage, single elimination knockout stage starts, will be tomorrow in our second match. That's when we start.
One thing about Bernie Regalario, gentlemen, is that he shoots really fast. That's one facet of his game, and he's chosen a really quick push out right here, coming off the break. But yeah, when he has an open table, he's like a machine gun out there.
I think that's not an uncommon trait amongst the Filipinos,
That's
right?
true.
I mean, look at the girl, Cheska. She plays this kind of speed.
I was talking about Cheska.
Yeah.
She's called the Flash for a reason.
Johan also.
Oh, yeah, Johan.
Well, David had a good look at that. So, John, you think that was done on purpose?
I was just thinking exactly that.
Hey, let's see what you
did he
got.
leave him a go? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So I think it was very risky if he really did that on purpose, because I don't think he knows him that well, and Bala is very capable of putting that
Right.
ball in. So I think that was a little mistake myself.
You saw that typical behind-the-back shot that the Filipinos, as opposed to using the offhand, they just put the stick behind their back. That's very common. And this is quite an open table. It's going to be a very, very entertaining match, I would think, gentlemen, because it's going to be two contrasting styles, youth versus experience. And I was talking to Bernie Regalario earlier how he moved to the losers bracket because he did win his first 2 matches. He was actually up against a Vietnamese opponent. He was up 7-3 in that race to 9. And then the guy fluked. He tried to make the 1 ball, went out and hit the 9 and made it. And he never got back to the table. So he ended up losing that. Actually, he went back, and it was a hill match. He lost 9-8. That's why he's here in the losers bracket.
No, the luck of Nineball.
That's a beautiful stroke, that's for sure.
Right.
But he's underhit that a bit. Yeah. He just pointed to where he wanted to have the cue ball go up a bit further. So do a little something to do here with the cue ball. No problem.
Yeah, I know you say in pool that you want to, as much as possible, you want to be in control of that cue ball. Filipinos are not afraid to move the cue ball around.
That's true. There's a lot of real estate there.
Yeah, I wonder how much experience a player like Bernie has had in these kind of matchroom conditions with these Rasson tables, you know, with the new cloth, because they're mostly playing in outside places without
Right.
aircon, right? So this is very...
Yeah, he actually competed in a few big tournaments already in the Philippines. I met him at a Sharks event before. Of course, you know the Sharks stadium there is pretty good in the Philippines. Did pretty well. Went to the Hanoi Open. Made it to the top 32. Was defeated by Lee Van Corteza in top 32. So he's pretty much used to these conditions, and he has a tendency to zone out. I mean, he's just there. When he sees the pool table, that's all he needs to think about.
Okay, so he's already had, and they used the same tables in Sharks and in the Hanoi.
Pretty
Open.
much.
It was always this Mr. Sung version of the Rasson, right?
Pretty much. You see how quickly he adapts to the speed of this table. Although you did point out, gentlemen, that he did overrun the 6 earlier.
So it was Bala to break, but it was Regalario who took the rack. So now he leads 1-0, race to 9, and he'll be break. Winner breaks format. We're playing under World Nineball Tour rules here. There's a break box, and you know, obviously, all the players trying to get that one ball to go in the side. Any, how do you assess how players are doing with this break box? Is it making life more difficult for them?
A little bit, but they have worked it out, and of course they're trying to draw the cue ball off the side rail and come back into the 9, hold the cue ball, and maybe make the 9 ball. And then you see that in a lot of the tournaments, the top pros are making that 9 ball 2 or 3 times in a match sometimes. So
yeah, you can see it there. The cue ball went off the rail.
Yeah,
very nearly hit the 9 ball.
Right. So in a typical, in the old system with the 1 on the spot, you're looking to put a little bit of outside spin, bring the cue ball back up the table. Whereas this is actually, in some respects, a little easier because they're just looking to put a draw and center on it so that the cue ball comes and bumps into the 9 and holds the cue ball there, but maybe makes the 9. And some players, when they get the measure of that, they'll make it a few times in a match. So
leave it to pool players. It doesn't matter what you do. They figure it out.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
They will figure it out. I mean, I've seen even 10 ball. Everyone says 10 ball is so much more difficult because that one extra ball with the physics of the rack and everything. They figure that out too.
Right. With the magic rack, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice cut shot there from David.
I think David's realized already, gentlemen, that he has to get aggressive against this very aggressive kid. Got to beat him to the punch.
But where did it end up?
Yeah, he was trying to bump the 2 there. I'm sure to hold the cue ball.
Jump to
one airborne.
It's interesting. You talk about going after the 9 ball. That's you would say that's in a lot of their minds when they're using this break, going after that 9 ball. They take that chance.
Yes, but the other reason is to hold the cue ball, to stop it scratching as well, because with this break with the 9 on the spot, the balls tend to cluster up at the back a lot. You see, they're all up there, whereas with the other one on the 1 on the spot, they're splitting a lot better. So you want the cue ball up there, not down in the middle so much. So when they bump that 9, it's kind of keeping it in that area as it's where the clusters are as well. So it's just increasing the percentage of the whole thing.
Little Prince has an opportunity here. There was a time when he would go offensive on almost everything. So he's looking at it right now. He's actually looking at the bank, but he's, of course, been taught otherwise already.
The cue's bigger than he is.
Oh, wow. Two-way shot, I believe. Yeah. That's quite risky, though, because he's left the 2 ball right above the pocket. I'm telling you, he could be Johan Chua's young son. Or James Arana's, for that matter.
Do you know how many Filipinos are here from the 128 field?
From what I've been told by June Del Mazon, there are 16 of them.
Right.
Not even counting the ones who are based in Singapore. I think it's 16 that just traveled. Some of them came from Taiwan.
All right, so it's a little straight here, so see whether he's going to jack up or try and smash it and just use the little bit of angle he's got. Just punch it. Yeah, it looks like he's going, or he's drawing. Now he's going to draw. Boom. So, yeah,
So,
skiddiness.
yeah, very fortunate that he can still see the 3 ball. That's something that Bernie's developed over the years. I'm saying he started when he was 10, so he's 18. So in his 8 years of playing, he's learned how to play a little bit of defense as well.
So Bala, very, very capable player. I don't expect him to get too affected by the nerves or the pressure. He just won his last round match in a sort of 30-minute 9-0 affair just before this in the last round. So I think he's feeling good. So hopefully he can get going in this match.
9-0, you're at stroke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Playing good.
And just to add to that, John and Ted, when he walked into this venue, it's like the energy of the place changed. I mean, he was very cordial to everybody. He was smiling. He's cracking jokes.
Yeah, he's a great guy like that. He's a very big character.
Wow. Amazing.
Not sure he meant that, but
It's a good contact, and good things happen when you just hit the ball. And so let's see if he's going to chase the 4 ball now.
And you say, we have a saying, the aggressive player creates his own luck. That was a very aggressive shot. You got a good result.
Yeah, I think the safety's as hard as the pot here. The question is he going to cut it to the left or the right? I think that's what he's thinking about, which way he's going. It's the highest chance to get on the 5.
Bernie Regalario is looking over his shoulders because Jonas Magpantay is in the match right now. He's also in the loser's bracket.
Oh, I called that wrong. He's gone for a safe.
That's makeable, though.
Perhaps it was a scratch, the cut shot. He's, yeah, I think he can get straight through to this without even needing to jump, right?
Oh, he's missed it, though.
Oh. He's gone for the harder shot to get the nice position.
yeah.
And hasn't paid off in this way.
Orange 5. He did get position on it, but yeah, he did have to make the pot first. So Bala now with a chance to get on the board.
I like it that Bala's very deliberate in what he's doing. He's not rushing things. He knows that there's no shot clock, so he's really going to take his time, considering all the options. Mark of a veteran. He's still wearing the Hanoi Open shirt, by the way. Is he weighing John the same thing? Is he going to the side and going around table, or is he going to the corner? The same shot that Bernie missed.
That's a good question. I don't think he'll risk the corner. I think he's looking how to come around from the center shot. But it is very tricky position. So yeah, maybe he will go for the corner. I'm not sure what he's tried to play there, to be honest. If he's coming around for the combo or... maybe he tried to check it down the center of the table and the check just didn't take off the bottom rail. So, not sure.
Well, it looks like he might have to play a safety here. Go long rail, or just create distance.
Overrun.
Bernie can see the edge of this 5, though.
Yep.
Well, there's a little tester here, isn't it? Let's see what he's got. 18 years old.
Yeah.
No fear.
I think the cue ball could get close to the middle on this one. Let's see.
Saw a glimpse of Carlo Biado also at the outside table.
Oh,
It's a great shot.
just
Great shot.
brilliant.
Stop, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as hard as it gets on a pool table.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Carlo there. He's playing a good friend of mine, Showman, who's had a very good run in the tournament so far. He's playing a great game, so a bit sad to see him 0-5 down there, but not unexpected. Although Sharan earlier on,
he fought back.
He fought back, right?
Yeah.
So who knows?
It was a big news in the Philippines as I boarded the plane when Carlo Biado lost his first match here, and a lot of people are saying that he was like one of the favored guys among the Filipinos to make it deep.
Yeah, he's been out of the pro circuit for a while though. The last 6 months, he hasn't been playing many of the events.
I think he went to Puerto Rico recently.
It was the first one back though, right?
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why if he had some minor injury issues and he
I will ask that
yeah.
from Carlo. He's a good friend.
I think he had something in his back from what I understand, but I don't know. Yeah, it would be interesting to know. But good to see that he's back.
Former world champion, of course, Carlo Biado.
Yeah, just and U.S. Open champion last year. I think he came to this event last year, just recently after winning the U.S. Open.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he at the losers bracket when he made that win in the U.S. Open?
Oh, that I don't know. I just know that he played our boy Aloysius in the final. So I'm not sure if he came from the loser bracket though. Yeah.
That's a good effort. He's going to leave it though.
So able to get out of the safety, but leaving an opening now for Regalario. And he should quickly put this one to bed for a 2-0 lead. Down to this 9-ball.
Nice to shoot it left-handed too.
Yeah, look at that. Just switched hands. Make it easier to pull off the stroke. And it's now 2-0 in favor of the Filipino.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 Filipinos to look out for, the youngsters, as we call them. Kyla Moroto, we were talking about him before we went on air. He's just turned 21. And the youngster AJ Manas is also here. He's grown a few inches, but he's just about to turn 18. Future, very bright future for Philippine pool. And Jun Del Mazon also, well, the veteran, he's up against Zhang Yiwei. 2-0. And losers bracket matchup there. Carlo Biado now up 6-0 over Shaman Tong.
Yeah, it's good to see that Filipinos are a lot of these young kids coming through because there's really not much support in the Philippines from the government. A little bit during the Southeast Asian Games, but there's not that many spots open for players there, and it's basically you got to do it on your own, and you play money games and you try to make a little living off of the money games, and you have to find a backer. It's a rough existence, but they love it. Filipinos can spend the entire day in a pool hall, day after day after day. They don't want to do anything else. If you ask Efren Reyes, hey Efren, you just won the world title. Did you go to the beach or something? He goes, what am I going to do at the beach? I'd rather go, either play a money game.
Yeah, if he went to the beach and
chess, mahjong.
If you went to the beach in poker, we would have called that negative E, because you're not going to get much from the beach.
He'd prefer to be in the pool hall or playing some kind of game where his mind is working,
Well, you got to give it to Efren, of course. He introduced the entire Philippines to this. In fact, I have a little story. When the tables used to not be the auto return balls, all the balls got stuck there. It was actually the Filipinos, I think it was even Efren or Amang Parica, Jose Parica, who actually started the norm of putting the made balls after a rack back on the table so that the guy setting it up can actually do it faster. I believe it was my dad who told me that story a long time ago. But Efren is definitely an ambassador of the game, not just for the Philippines, but for the world as well. And he's still at it at the age of almost 70 years old already.
I've had the honor of playing him on one occasion, 2017 in Manila. So,
I'm sure.
Can we hear the result there, John? Come on.
What did he give you? The 8 and the 10?
no, I played him. I played him level, and I played him 3 sets, and I did get 164. You can find it on YouTube.
Oh, cool. It's always an honor. I actually played against Francisco Bustamante once. He spotted me 3 balls, and I still couldn't win.
I think it's an interesting point you mentioned earlier on about having no support in the Philippines, and it was, my first thought was the actual game itself is a support mechanism, right?
The existence. It's a whole economy.
Right.
It is an economy unto itself.
Because someone, I don't know if it was yourself, said in Singapore it's the opposite. You have all the education opportunities, and so those players in Singapore who would, if they lived in the Philippines, be doing that, they go to university and they get a job. And when I heard, was it you said that right earlier on in the commentary? I think, or maybe it was Eddie. I'm not sure, but I was just thinking there are a couple of kids in Singapore with huge natural talents. I mean, obviously Aloysius is one that's gone through, but there's a few others that have these great jobs. And if they were those kids in the Philippines, they would be, going through, and we'd be seeing them playing pool. But because they have those jobs and the pool doesn't pay, they stick with their jobs. But they are incredible natural talents. There's a few guys here who, have the potential. But
this young man, talk about potential. Well, there's a break and run. Okay, you see the 1 goes down in the side, and he clears the table. Just that 2 kind of set it off right there, and then it was off to the races. He's up 3-0, and he'll be breaking in rack number 4.
Yeah, believe me, he's still holding back on his speed. He's still trying to figure out how fast this table is, but once he gets the hang of this table, I mean, he's going to be really like Luke Salvas level when he starts shooting these balls.
Yeah, how do they get to be so good at this age when they haven't had the time to get good, if you know what I mean?
That's a really good question, but he's had a lot of mentors already. Some of them are here. I mentioned Johan Chua, Jeffrey Ignacio. We do have a few more players in the Philippines that when they see these kids coming out and then they say, hey, look at this kid, can you help him out? They actually do help them out. And then it becomes sort of like, let's develop you, and then maybe later on you can be like us, national team players, like Jeffrey Ignacio, Johan Chua, have been with the national team, Carlo Biado as well in the SEA Games.
So is the help they give them purely technical, or are they also coaching them on the mental side when they're at this age?
I guess they just come over and whisper to them. I remember Lee Van Corteza talking to him after one of the matches, and he said, if you just focus a little bit more, you can achieve more. So it's really like Ted said, it's an ecosystem right there with all of the pool players there. They help each other out, and at the end of the day, they help everybody, even kids who are going to take their positions later on. At least they prime them for the opportunities that they'll be getting, even on the mental side.
Well, here he goes again, another break, but he's not sure there's a gap there to get to the 2. He made the 1 ball on the break. Let's put it down to one simple thing. You say, how do they get good? They're hungry. They're hungry. What are the prospects?
It's gonna be
a lot of kids don't have prospects.
Right.
For much else in life. And
survival.
It's survival.
Yeah. Pretty much the same thing with boxing in the Philippines, where a lot of boxers become really good because it's a way out of poverty. Best example, of course, our very own Senator Manny Pacquiao.
Who's a great pool player. Right?
Who's a great pool player, by the way. He's a lefty.
He has some tournaments with some pretty big prize money in.
And he puts the prize money in himself.
Is that still happening?
I believe so, yes. In Sarangani province, General Santos. That's, I think, an annual thing already. He loves pool so much as well.
So that was a push out here. No shot on the 2. So David looks like he's going to take this on. Why not? He can see the whole ball. What do you think he's going to do with this?
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe he can see the whole ball. I'm not sure if it would be to make the potting angle. He would clip the 3. Yeah, so he's going safe.
Almost. Oh, but that's a great idea.
It's close whether he can get to the 2. I think he can.
You can see the hole too. Not quite sure if going offensive would be a smart thing here for Bernie. Wants to get it behind the crowd.
Yeah, for his level, not get the safety out of that is surprising. I mean,
Well, he did mention to me earlier that this table plays differently than the other tables out there.
oh, there's two different kinds of tables here. They do have the same cloth, but the rails are very, very different. I mean, these Rassons play a little bit like the Predator tables, very bouncy cushions. They're shaped differently, and to swap between the tables from one round to the next is really pro stuff.
Right, right. That's what he shared. He was still studying. Oh, that's a double contact.
Has he got away with it? No, I think he's got a shot on this.
Yeah. That's what he was sharing earlier. I was saying, how does this table feel from the other table? It's completely different. So he needed, and didn't have much time to study it too.
So I'm sure he will have, since he's been here, an opportunity to play. There's 6 of these Mr. Sung Rassons here in the arena. So I'm sure. Ooh.
Got away with it.
So because he's hit that thick, obviously the cue ball hasn't traveled, and so this could be a chance for Bala. I'm hoping he's going to get on the board soon.
Okay, one thing about the Filipinos, kicking is a natural talent.
On the tables they
On
are
the table.
comfortable with.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no, he's got it down there. Great shot. So on these tables, that ball kicks narrower than it would
That's a
on
good
the
point.
on the other tables or on the tables in the Philippines.
That's a good point.
But he knows that already, obviously,
Right,
and he's nailed that straight away. I don't think he can see the potting angle though again, so he might have to sort of jam the cue ball in there, sort of play that little stun shot and put the 3 around the table. He may be able to spin this in, but no, that's a shot he's tried.
Yeah, he just created distance though. He might, well, not sure. This is just a roll now. He just has to trust his shot.
Yeah, I mean, ideally he was trying to not make contact with, or keep the cue ball stuck in behind the 5 ball there. It's just leaked out.
Yeah, that's a shot that, Bernie's going to play the safety game still, but...
His safeties aren't working out.
Yeah,
so well for him at the moment.
he's not executing them with perfection and precision. So here's a chance now for David Bala.
Yeah, he's
Long
gotta
shot on
come-
the 3.
Yeah, he's got to come short side here. So, he's played for the combo. Fair enough. Yeah, he didn't have the angle to punch the cue ball over. Well, the 9 was in the way. Either way, yes, it's a makeable combo.
You know what Bala means in the Philippines, right? It means bullet. So we might actually give him a nickname here. David the Bullet Bala.
It's actually great, yeah. He's definitely, I mean, Singapore players tend to be very methodical, but Bala, he breaks the mold on that. He plays very fast. So that's a great name, actually.
Nice shot.
Oh,
Ooh.
dear. It's still okay. You can still cut that, and it can come around 3 or even 4 rails potentially. Just got to watch out it doesn't get behind the black.
Don't want to hit the 9 though.
Oh, the 9's not an issue here.
Okay.
He's going to come. I think that the middle kit's more the issue on this one. Oh, he's not going safe again, is he? The way he's lining that up.
You never know. They see it better than we do.
He's going safe. He's going safe. Yeah. So fair enough. That's a good one.
That's a
That's
fantastic
great-
shot, though.
Yeah.
Fine safety from David Bala. Talk about Filipinos' ability to kick. Well, we'll see here what Regalario comes up with. Now that is married up to that 9 ball.
That's going to be a hard one.
Very nicely done.
Even the great magician would have a tough time with that. No, I take that back. What's he looking at here? Just the one railer, do you think, John?
I don't think he's got the angle to get to the one railer. I think it's got to queue over the top of the 9 for a 2 railer, or he's got to do 3 and go the other way. But then the middle pocket could come into play. Yeah, that's the 3 railer. So I think, yeah, the middle pocket could come into play, or if it doesn't, the 6 is going to get in the way. So I think he's going to queue over the top of the 9 for the 2 railer.
Wow, that's a difficult shot.
Yeah.
This can definitely go wrong.
Yeah, from the queuing perspective as well as from the actually hitting it perspective. It's tough all round. Oh, he's played a legal shot, but yeah, very tough.
Foul.
It's closed up on him, the angles, yeah. All right, Bala. So, yeah, an absolute must-have to get out from here. Normally would be no problem for him. But
Yeah, well, normally. But this is the TV table.
Come on,
Here,
Ted.
Well, you know, on the TV table is a lot more pressure. Yeah, it's different than, you know, when you're in the back corner of the arena.
he's
Yeah,
already not happy.
nobody's watching.
Shook his head. So
Yeah.
he's not. He wanted to have more angle for the 1 railer towards the 7. Now I think he's got to play a little sort of stun draw, punch the cue ball, come back up. Maybe a bit straight for coming off the rail, or he's got to hit it with more speed than he wanted to.
I think the second option is the one that he might be taking.
He's got to put a bit more speed into it and come off the rail still probably.
No, that's great control, though.
Yep. Yeah, he's done well there. And just has to drop that in only. Come 2 rails. It's definitely slowed down from his last game.
Yeah, for sure. This rack's taking quite a while here.
Well, he wants to be sure. He wants to get rack number 1, win number 1.
Yeah. You need to work your way into stroke in every match. It's every fresh match you start.
That's a good point.
All right.
Excellent.
Happy to see that one go down. But he's a little off angle here. He would have liked to have been straighter to just draw straight back up. Now he's either got to follow with 2 to go 2 rails or draw it short side. See what he opts for. So if he follows, it's got to be quite a little bit, you know, fair bit of right hand spin that makes it missable because of that. But the draw is tricky, and the cue ball could go in the corner pocket here. So
He's in between. You can tell.
Yeah. So I think the natural draw without punch is kind of into the 9. So it's interesting to see which side of the 9 he lands on here. Yeah, he's gone short side. And it's a great shot. He punched it, a little bit of punch, widen the angle so that he got short side.
Nicely done. Good skill level there.
Yeah, because the corner pocket's always on as a scratch on that kind of shot. If you hit too much punch on it, you widen the angle and you can scratch. So that's what he was worried about.
So this one gets him on the board, finally.
Great. It's great.
So 3-1.
He earned that one, Ted.
Absolutely. That was hard work. So David Bala gets one back. 3-1 now. He'll be breaking in rack number 5.
Not sure at this point, Bernie's probably assessing his strategy and trying to engage his older opponent in a safety battle, which is probably something, if you're going to look at the weakness in the game of Bernie, he's a great offensive to engage somebody who's used to safety battle to a safety battle, might be asking for trouble. That's where it all started for Bernie Regalario. He's known as Benok, by the way, guys, and you can relate to this, both of you being from spending time in the Philippines. You already have a nickname, and they change your nickname.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Bala actually has a nickname already. So
The bullet sounds
but
good.
I like it. Yeah, that's great.
It's a Filipino-inspired nickname. But for Bernie Regalario, he's known as Benok or the Little Prince.
So very nice out there for David Bala, which will build his confidence going into the next rack. stemmed the tide a little bit there. He was down 3-0, and he did some good work there. Some good shot making.
Well, this is only the second time he's breaking in this match.
So you're seeing putting the cue ball actually well behind the line. That's actually a new ruling came out, at least in Singapore, that the cue ball has to be fully behind it. Cannot be even a part of
Even
it over.
one piece of it can be touching.
The edge
Okay.
couldn't be, even though it's hanging over, if it's from the diagonal line above. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something come in recently as well.
And that's a dry break from Bala, so he wastes that.
Yeah, but Bernie doesn't have a shot on the 1. Oh, now he's going to create a shot on the 1. He's got the short stick.
He's thinking about pushing it slightly closer, I think. Just take it from there because Bala might not give it back to him.
Boy, that's an awful long jump.
Wow, very close.
Very nearly made it.
He gets the two-way.
Nice result.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
No shot clock in this match. We will have a shot clock later on in the tournament. We have 2 more days tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. So probably down to the semifinals. I believe we're going to have a shot clock. So Bala goes over and gets the short stick. So he will attempt the jump.
That's a pretty good result.
Yeah, could be worse. He deserved a bit of luck after the last shot. So.
Again, Kyle's got options. He's got a bunch of blocking balls. Now he's suddenly studying the offensive option.
You think he's looking at the angle for a cut and spin the cube around the table?
He can make it, yeah.
Okay. I was thinking he was going to come off just a little thin slice of the 1 and put the cue ball up behind the 9. But I think you're right. He's looking at the putting angle, yeah. But he's not cueing it up with a lot of power. So, yep, he's going for it.
Halfway down, though.
Yeah. Oh,
Gets
again.
lucky again.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say about aggression.
Luck favors the brave.
Yeah.
Not always.
That's true.
Not always. Not in this sport.
Yeah. He's got a simple kick here that he can actually turn into a safety shot as well.
Yeah, he's hoping, I think, the cue ball will stay behind the 3 and the 8 when he kicks this. Well, I think he's hit the wrong side of that completely. Yeah.
Well, that's a huge mistake at down 3-1. Leaves it wide open for Regalario. This will be a big point.
But saying that, he's under hit that.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to go 2 rails on this, which is tricky with all the 6 and the 3 there. Sorry, the 5, but he should be okay. Oh, he can soft spin it in. Wow, okay.
Yeah, it looks
so
like he's
steep.
home free now. And as I say that,
Again, the thick hit though is he covered on the 5 because oh no, he's still got the 4, so he's okay.
Yeah, we are playing with the traditional colors now again. Sort of gets hard to come back to the traditional colors after you got used to the 4 being pink and then the 5 being purple.
I mistake the 4 for the black. That's my problem on the camera.
Oh, yeah. That too.
There's been a few famous mistakes on that one, right?
Oh, I'm pretty
With
sure.
people playing them in the wrong order, yeah.
It happened to Efren.
Oh,
in
really?
Manila, yeah.
That's a big rack. David had a chance, gave it away, and now the youngster, 18 years old, from the Philippines, cleans up the colors. 4-1 now. In favor of Bernie Regalario. He'll be breaking in rack number 6.
So updates on the outer table.
Come on, John, give it to us.
So there's another young gun in Singapore, Nicholas Tan. He represents Singapore youth, and he also travels with Aloysius a lot for international events. He's 5-0 up on fellow Singaporean Nicholas Leo. We have a German representative. I'm not familiar with Holger, but he's in the lead against an Indonesian player. I'm also not familiar with Fajar Ahyar. Terence here is our sponsor, TE Capital.
Right.
He's 0-2 down to, this is Korean flag, right?
That's Chinese Taipei.
That's Taipei, sorry, I always mix those up. So Chinese Taipei.
It's a Fujiwei.
All right,
Jundel
guy?
Mazon is up, yeah, my buddy. Up 5-0. Jiang Yiwei.
Fujie Wei, he's been around since forever.
Yeah. So has Jundel Mazon.
So, I mean, I don't see the Carlo Biado match.
It must have been
it must be
concluded
finished
already.
Yeah, so...
Well, Jonas Magpantay is on the hill against William Ang.
So
And AJ Manas against Kuopo Cheng. Surprised to see Kuopo Cheng on this side of the draw.
So William there is a Singaporean, also has a pool hall here in Singapore, down in Bugis area. Another ex-national player. He played Steve Davis famously in one of those World Cup of pool events.
Right.
2 balls down, not the 1, however.
Yeah, he has a shot on it, though.
Yes, it looks like he does.
Another update, of course, Marvin Asas of the Philippines going up against Aaron Ko of Singapore. That match has just begun with Marvin up 1-0.
Marvin that they call Goy Goy or Gogoy.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I've actually had a game with him in Golden Break in Las Pinas.
Okay.
I've played with him once a few years ago.
Talking about the Philippines, Marboys, of course, one of the more popular billiard places in the Philippines. One of the clubs that is supporting Bernie Regalario. You see, proudly sport the Marboys logo there.
They have a great live streaming games.
That's true. That's true.
So- and they also use the Rasson tables. And maybe that's why he's comfortable.
Yeah. And he plays there a lot too. So, yeah, again, no issues at this table, gentlemen.
Yeah.
He's very composed for 18 years old, and you have to talk about that's youth for you. They like sometimes maybe lack of experience, but no fear.
Well, not in the Philippines, though. There's a pool hall every 500 meters, I would think, in the Philippines.
Do you think that comes from lack of mental scarring from the experience of?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Listen, it's he doesn't have a lot of experience in tournament in big time tournament play, and I think over the years, this is where sometimes the shortcomings of Filipino players is they play so many money games that when they get in situations in big tournaments that they would often let the nerves get the better of them because it's two different
That is true.
two different disciplines, money games and competitive pool, two totally different disciplines.
There are a few names from the Philippines that you would say excel in both the money game and the tournament format. Dennis Orculio being one of them, of course. I believe Roberto Gomez as well can excel in both, and James Aranas has shown to be quite adept in both as well.
5-1 now, and he is rolling along. So looks like these two decided to call timeout, take a break. And here you see that break shot from Regalario. Didn't get the 1 down, but got 2 other balls down. So continued shooting on the 1, and that's a break and run out. Very nicely done from the youngster. And you see David Bala there. All he can do is watch and just hope he gets a crack at it.
That's going to be the second break and run out already for Bernie Regalario in this match. Yeah. We're going to take the short break, it appears, Ted.
And we are back after that brief timeout. And look out for the cue ball. That cue ball goes down, and that will put a stop to the run of Bernie Regalario. He leads 5-1.
That's a 2 and a 9 issue here, gentlemen.
It's very close to leaving him a combo there. It's going to be stuck behind the 9 next, I imagine. Because even if that 2 ball goes past the 5, it's no way you can get the cue ball back up for the 3. So
probably going to get Bernie to commit a second foul.
Yeah, he could chase 3 fouls here. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So he's cut off the 1 railer, which was the main objective of that, I think. I don't think he can get to that rail. But it's the 8, right, that's blocking there.
I'm not sure. I think. Well, he's not looking at it right now.
He had a look, but then it was a no. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, there is a gap there.
So yeah, he can go to it.
We might have to swerve a bit. Yeah. Very tricky to swerve a ball round a ball that's so close because it squirts off, and often you clip it on the way through.
No, he fouled it.
Yeah.
That's foul number 2, though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Bala does here, because all the balls are in the open. He might save that 3rd foul until he gets himself. He might go for the run out.
Not sure. Is the scratch off the break considered
foul number 1?
Three fouls?
That's foul number 1.
Yep.
So he might actually. There are 2 more balls here. There's a 4 and a 6. He might actually go for 2-3 and then use the 4 as the 3rd foul ball.
Good call. I think that's a possibility. I think he'll see how he gets on it first, and then decide from there. I think he'd like to get out. Doesn't want to let him back to the table. Really.
Oh yeah, he's okay.
It's you got to be careful how you get on the 5 ball here, or the 4 ball here, because you need to be high on it so that the 6 doesn't come into play. So he needs to come up. Yeah, that looks good. So that tells me he's not going to be sticking the cue ball behind the 6.
Or maybe he still will.
Yeah, I haven't called much right today, so he's probably going to do that.
Yeah. I remember I was telling Ted and Eddie earlier that Levan Cortez, I forgot his opponent, who his opponent was. He could have ran out the table, but he went for 3 fouls. And he got him.
He got them.
He got them.
You don't see the pros doing it so often because they're so good at hitting the ball. But
Right.
in the amateur game, in the pool halls, you see people trying it all the time, right?
I would venture to say he was up against Jonas Magpantay or Goy Goy, I think. And he just got the 3 fouls. Because balls were so close in proximity, it was easy.
Right, right.
And I think there was a problem ball somewhere down the low. But he was able to get it. Even if he could pot balls, he went for 3 fouls.
Yeah, it's okay. He hasn't come where he wanted on this. So this is tricky. The 9's in the way for the draw with spin. So he's decided to leave himself long.
Wow.
And it's gone. He
Yeah,
wanted
this
to hit
is,
the other side. He's been a little unlucky to hit that down the low side of it.
Yeah.
If he hit the upside of it, the cue ball would have come actually nicely up for the what's the 6th, right?
Now, he still got a shot on the 6.
He's a very competent player, but he's played himself into trouble. Very good.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
okay.
Well done.
And you have to be fully committed to that shot. Any form of hesitation.
Yeah, very deliberate follow-through stroke on that shot. It was definitely feeling. And he's left himself a nice angle this time. It's exactly where he wants to be. Yeah, so there's a lot more players from other nations this year. Last year we had no players from Europe or US, but we do have a few players over from UK and Germany this year, so make it a little bit more interesting.
Oh, no.
Did not see that coming.
Wow. Yeah, just
Well, he actually intentionally fouled it already.
give it up.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
So I'm not sure
That
he
is-
came up a little bit early on that. It's,
No way.
boy, that stings.
yeah.
It was just about to get one back to make it 5-2. He played a very nice rack, some good shot making up until that point, and
He just missed.
missed it.
Yeah.
Yep. Wiped its feet, but didn't go over. And he doesn't even want to have a Regalario shoot it because, yeah, that's it. Ball in hand on the 9. Just give him the rack. So that's 6-1 now in favor of Regalario. And amazingly, it's Regalario up breaking when it should have been David Bala. So Bala not playing too bad, but always at just the worst possible time, he comes up with an error.
That was the worst of the worst possible times to get an error.
Absolutely the worst of the worst. So Regalario finish line in sight now. Race to 9, and that would put him in the final 32. There's going to be a lot of Filipinos in that final 32.
I think that's Bangladesh. We're looking at the flags of some of the competitors here as we see. Oh, scratch.
scratch.
That's the second time he's done that. I think this time the ball got kicked, though.
Get a replay.
Oh, no. He just really spun it off the rail and just went in. So all's not lost here for David Bala. Ted, you and I, we've seen a lot of comebacks from the grave.
Yeah, this is really last chance, though. I think he's got to get out here. The 6 goes past the 9, so normally he'd be fine.
You weren't around during the GJ match against his Vietnamese opponent where he just couldn't make anything. And,
Now, okay.
yeah,
Nicely controlled there with the spin.
I have to do it again. You love the way he's moving around the table right now as if he was up 6-1.
Yeah, there's a danger with that scratch on the new break. If you hit it too thick, it will come off, and
Okay.
he's okay, I think. And if you hit it too thin,
Yeah, his face says he's not.
he's still okay, but he's not where he wanted to be for sure. But I don't see him playing safe here, although earlier on I thought he had a cut and he played safe. So
Well, the 6 and the 9, aren't they big enough to be blockers? We have to see the table again. The 6 and the 9 are big enough to be blockers.
and I think he's nudged the 9 so that now the 6 doesn't go.
It doesn't go.
Well, this is another scenario when he had an open table, played some nice crafty shots, and then finds himself out of position.
So he's gone very quick into that safety shot. I think he's just upset with himself and just played it too
you
quick.
would be, because he's, he hasn't the overall picture, he hasn't played too bad, but the wrong time for these mistakes. You're playing a kid like this. He's a
shot maker.
Yeah, he'll put you in your chair quickly. But that's it. You can't at this level. You just can't afford these kind of mistakes.
Yeah, I think the change of table has affected Bala. I think he won't have had as much experience as Bernie, from what it sounds like, on these Rasson tables. They are very different to the way a standard table plays.
And that moves the score line to 7-1, and an absolute gift, early Christmas gift from Bala to Regalario. 7-1, 2 away for Regalario. A spot in the knockout stage, final 32 here in Singapore. It came from a scratch. Regalario scratched on the break. He did all the work, but Regalario got the point. Totally demoralizing.
Yeah, that was the key. When he moved off position on the 5, had to do something with it. And then he had to play a very weak safety on the 6. And Bernie's now let these opportunities pass.
Yeah, David wanted to stumble up behind the 9, and it just got away from him there. And he unfortunately left the kind cut, but Bernie handled it.
Well, the gentleman we covered earlier, Dang Tan Kien, is now making short work of a Filipino, Alan Gabriel. AJ Manas, of course, of the Philippines, is up 7-4 against Kwopo Cheng. Be a very surprising victory if AJ could hold on. The 18-year-old, the 17-year-old turning 18. And Marvin Assis of the Philippines also there. And Muntasir Juberi from Bangladesh.
You even did it with an Indian accent.
Yes, of course. For some reason, it goes that way.
Barely got the 1 down, but that turns into a dry break. So another chance for Bala. Took down the 1 ball, and now he's on to the 2. He's got the angle.
Yeah, I heard you talking earlier on about how important it is to be able to wipe the mistakes. Let's see how Bala does now. He actually looks okay.
Yeah, no, overall picture hasn't played bad. It's just he's had like 1 mistake creep in these racks, and then that's it. And then he gives up the table and loses the rack.
Well, this time he collides with the 4, and now he's a little off angle on it. So you're right, Ted. These little mistakes, they sort of pile up every day. Leads to his demise, but he scratches his head after that. Bernie just waiting for his chance again. If he gets this rack, he's going to be on the hill.
Oh, he's tried to put the cue ball up behind the 7 there, and he's unfortunately given up a shot.
Again, that little nudge on the 4 to make him lose position on the 5.
Generally in 9 ball,
Yeah.
when you lose position, it's a slippery slope. It's very hard to get back in line.
Like Bernie's waiting for apples to fall from a tree. The way he's been playing.
Yeah, earlier David was actually taking his time. Do you remember I said how fast he was playing on the outside table? Now he's slowed down a bit, but now he's gone back to playing fast again because I think he's got to have that dead man. He's trying to find that dead man stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's gone awry again, the cue ball.
It's a nice stroke right there.
Yeah, that's a great shot. He had to dig down a little bit on that with the distance, so he's not happy with it, but he's okay.
He might hit the 9 though. Let's see if that affects the shot. No, it doesn't.
He's using the 9 to hold the angle. Looks like he's got to come short side. He's either going to go forward with a lot of right hand spin and top, go around 3 rails, or he's going to draw it up past the 9.
That makes the shot missable though, John.
Yeah, he's doing the draw. I mean, they're both missable, to be honest. And it's,
Look at that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man. Boy, that's with confidence.
Yeah. And the grip and the spin doesn't grip with the new rails and so the scratch was a possibility on that shot, and he avoided the middle pocket as well. So yeah, great shot.
I did not expect this. I mean, Bernie Regalario is good, but it's just a bad day for David Bala.
He's confident now. He's out in front so far. He's let his natural stroke out.
8-1. One more for a spot in the knockout stage of 32, which begins tomorrow here in Singapore. And yeah, he really hasn't had to do anything extraordinary. A lot of it has been given to him. Well, that is 9-ball. Sometimes your opponent does all the work and just hands you a gift.
Right.
And you only have to get 1 or 2 balls.
That was the problem, really, when he ran into the 3, lost position. It was all smooth sailing from that point for Bernie Regalario. So yeah, we do have some updates on the scores from the outer table as well. Looks like the Jun Delmazon match has already concluded. He's through. Yeah, this match that we have right now, 8-1. Jun Delmazon has defeated Zhang Yiwei. And AJ Manas is on the hill against Kuo Po Cheng. That'll be a moral victory as well for the 17-year-old AJ Manas, if he can defeat one of the top players in the world.
All right, let's see where the cue ball goes now.
It's been an adventure for this kid, huh? 2 scratches.
He's hit it thick twice and it scratched across, and let's see if he hits it thin and go behind now. Yeah, and it did.
And he made the 1.
He adjusted it.
He gets fortunate though to have a shot on the 2 as well. That could have easily gone behind the 8.
The ball was tracking straight to the other pocket, but it hit the 2. And it's come right in a shot. So that's the thing with this break. If you hit it thick, it'll come across and scratch in the middle, and if you hit it in, it'll go across and scratch in the back corner.
That's why you need to collide with something.
You need to. Well, yeah, you need. That's right. That's why you're trying to hit the 9 and it hit it with the right thickness. Yeah.
Waiting for our referee to take out our magic rack.
Yeah, it's interesting to see in some of the other matchroom events when they have 128 or 256, they keep the magic rack for until the knockout stage or until the last 32, and then they take it away, right? Are they doing that here, or are they going to keep it all the way?
I think they're keeping the rack the whole way through.
Okay.
What's the logic behind taking away the magic rack?
To make it more entertaining, and they just less break and runs when they take away the magic
more
rack.
players inspecting the rack before it doesn't.
Well, they're not allowed to inspect the rack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not allowed.
Ooh. Oh, it's okay.
I remember a match in the Philippines where Jeffrey Ignacio asked for 7 re-racks. He wasn't happy about it. Re-rack it again.
Yeah, that's not good for spectators, right?
That's right. Even for us commentators, like, what is wrong with that rack now?
Oh, I don't think he can see it. Yeah. So can he see the edge to play safe, or can he? I don't think he can reach far enough in to do a little hop over the edge of the 9.
Right. He might have to go 2 rails just to make contact.
I hit it bang in the middle. But he has given up a shot, I think. Should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky position. Unless the 5 goes past the 6. I think it does, actually. So, but he's got to drop it in very slow.
Surely does.
But I think he still might hit it with pace to come 2 rails because it's such a difficult soft stroke to hold it.
So opting to just go to the side pocket.
Oh, this is one of those shots that gets David every time. Hand the table back. This is not easy.
Yeah, he's weighing up whether he should play safe or go for it. It looks like he might be playing safe up behind the green. Oh no, he's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Okay.
Great. Oh, perfect.
Nicely done.
He's also got the angle to hit to get to the 7.
Yes. Last chance for a comeback.
Oh, we've seen it happen before. I was just telling a story earlier that Marlon Manalo of the Philippines was up against a European opponent. I forgot his name. It was an alternate break tournament. He was up 8-0, and the European went all the way back and tied it up at 8-8, and Marlon had a golden break. And we were saying, why couldn't you have the golden break in rack 9? Well, could have gone home.
Great.
There it is. All right, David gets it to 8-2. This race to 9.
Got to start somewhere. Remember, of course, I was telling you the story of how Bernie Regalario got relegated to the losers bracket. He was up 7-3 against his opponent from Vietnam. And his opponent fluked the 9 after missing on the 1. 1 hit the 9 and went in. And it went hill, and here he is.
I think Max Lechner did something like that against Shane Van Boning in a tournament in the US 1 or 2 years ago when he was 0-9 down and then he came back and won 10-9. I think it's something similar. Yeah. That was before Max was really known. He's Austrian player.
And it turns everything around. It happens in tennis. It happens in other sports. You know, time when I think it was the French Open where Ivan Lendl was already up. I mean, 5-2 in the 3rd set. He had won the first, the last 2, and then I think he was serving for the match, and then he had a let cord. His opponent had a let cord, and served again, and served an ace, and came back and forced the 5th set.
Right.
I forgot who his opponent was. Forced the 5th set, and Lendl lost.
That's what makes sporting so exciting, right?
Exactly.
It'd be great to see Bala get a few back. I think he just wants to make the scoreline look a bit more respectable.
The golden break would really help.
There you go. He's got a...
Yeah, he hit that very nicely, actually.
Yeah,
but
he really
luck
laid
on the
into that one. He's got the 1 ball on the side. Long shot on the 2.
It's challenging 2, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen players in this situation have a pop at these, but Bala's been very measured, so he may try and find a safety.
Could have an advantage when it comes to a safety battle here against Regalario. Although that's not really a safety. The deuce does pass the 4. Or is it the 8? No, it passes the 8.
Yeah, I wanted to check the cue ball up to hide behind the ball that's down there now. The 4 ball, but it's leaked out on him.
Oh, but made the 6. However, he's going to be covered. Wow. This just gets interesting, Ted.
Yeah, this is the kind of I mean, he can cut rail for this if he wants, but it's also the kind of shot where you can jump it with your break cue to make the shot making easy. So he's really weighing up whether he jumps or comes off the rail.
If you ask a Filipino whether to jump or to kick, the Filipino's first option is to kick.
Right. Or swerve even.
It looks like he is swerving.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so it was a kick swerve. He swerved through to the kicking angle. That was a fantastic shot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nice precision shot. Regalario.
He doesn't have. Yeah, he doesn't have the whole pocket here, gentlemen.
So you think it's still even with this generation of players that they're preferring to kick rather than jump?
I think it's. I think it's a Filipino thing already. That they're all inspired by how Efren gets out of jail so many times. Yeah, he didn't have the whole pocket there. That's a really good safety shot, though.
Yeah, I feel like in today's world they're going to be at a disadvantage with that, though.
No, but they jump. Johan's a pretty good jump shot artist, and the kids nowadays also. We've seen Bernie jump also earlier, but if given a choice between a kick and a jump, usually a Filipino would choose. Well, of course, depends on the situation. Oh no.
Well, that's why you play a lockdown safety. So, with ball in hand, one more to go. This one, I believe that may be the last time that David Bala gets a chance at the table.
Yeah, 3 to the middle or to the corner is fine here.
Just getting the map, the layout in his head. He's got it down. He knows exactly where he's going here, all the way to the end.
Yeah, if he gets position on the 5, that'll be it. It's the only tricky ball. He needs to, whether he's going to come to or come straight back up, or he's even playing for the center, it looks like. So, looks quite shallow to the center, but it's okay.
Yeah, he's going corner.
He's going corner. Yeah, okay.
The kid they call the Little Prince, or Bannock, looks like he's about to punch his way through.
All right,
to
well,
we're
going to get an interview with Bernie. You're going to have to do a little translating for us.
I'm on it, sir.
Perfect. So Bernie Regalario taking advantage of plenty of mistakes in the game of David Bala, and the 18-year-old from the Philippines moves into the final 32 with a 9-2 victory here in Singapore. So how would you assess, John, the game overall of Regalario? I have to improve, and that will either come or not. We'll see as he advances in the tournament, as he gets to the final 32.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't a championship performance.
It was just the safety.
It was adequate.
Just the safety, the side of it, right?
Yeah.
So, he picked the mistakes off of Bala, mistakes that I feel Bala wouldn't have made if they were playing on one of the outside tables, which he's more used to. I think Bernie had the advantage in that respect. But other than the safety, he's obviously a great sharpshooter, and for someone his age, showed almost no nerves. So
there you see
stuff.
Yeah, there you see the final scoreline. He's got a promising future, this young kid, and we'll see him again starting tomorrow in the final 32. He wins it 9-2, and when we come back from this break, we will hear from the 18-year-old from the Philippines.
Experience the pinnacle of billiard excellence with our precision-crafted cloth, trusted by champions worldwide. Engineered for flawless play, it's the surface that elevates your game. From professionals to enthusiasts, discover a world where mastery meets innovation. Explore our range of colors and textures to express your unique style. Elevate your game with us. Visit our website today at www.cpbabrand.com.
You don't have to play like a pro to enjoy the game I love.
If you've ever played in a friend's basement, you can compete in an APA league. In the APA, everyone can play and anyone can win. So if you're looking for a fun night out with your friends and family, join an APA pool league today. Have fun, meet people, play pool. Visit poolplayers.com today.
Here with Bernie Regalario, who is now through to the final 32. Now, Bernie, that was quite an interesting match that you had there against David Bala. And of course, the experience was against you and the youngster, the 18-year-old. What's going through your head right now as you make it to the final 32?
I just want to play my best. Give my fight needs to be consistent. I just need to more practice and sleep well and to have a good condition. Yeah.
All right. Now, Bernie, we're talking about your break shot earlier. It was not consistent. You scratched a couple of times with your break, but somehow David ran into problems during the rack, and then you were able to finish it off. So what adjustments are you going to make in terms of your break shot to make it more effective tomorrow?
I think I'm gonna practice more and to learn how to adjust my break. And that's it. I'm just gonna go practice. Yeah, and think what I'm gonna do for the next round.
You have an opportunity now to greet all of your friends and family who are watching you back in the Philippines. You can do that now.
Gusto lang batiin mga fans ko dyan sa Parañaque, sa fans ko sa Pilipinas, yan, especially sa pamilya ko, sila Papa, Mama, yan. Supportahan niyo kami lahat, Pilipino, yan.
He's going to get some sleep tonight and be ready for the round of 32. Ted, John?
Thanks very much. And Bernie looks like he's still in grade school, but he's playing with the big boys. He's made it to the final 32 here at the here in Singapore and the TE Capital Nineball Championship. So a good effort. He's going to have to take his game to another next level to move further in this tournament, of course. So he's in the final 32 in the knockout stage. That begins tomorrow here at the Aspire Recreation Center at the Harborfront Center in Singapore. So we look forward to you joining us then. We've got 4 big matches for you tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of action, and we got all the big names in Asia who are going to be going head-to-head. It's going to be some good stuff. So join us tomorrow here for more action at the TE Capital Nineball Open Championship. We'll see you then. Thank you.